Good morning, dear friends of Mary Ward. Welcome to the 19th day of the discourse on Mary Ward's spirituality. What is spirituality, by the way? Spirituality can be defined as a science or art or theory which studies and promotes one's union with God. Our theme today is Equanimity in Suffering in the Life of Mary Ward. Let us see how Mary Ward accepted suffering to promote her union with God. Suffering helps us to see as Jesus saw, to act as Jesus did, to forgive as Jesus forgave. Some people have entertained a theory such as suffering is a curse. Jesus denied it, saying that suffering is not a curse but a blessing. Suffering helps us to see life through Christian eyes. As the scripture says, messengers of God were not well accepted because they spoke the truth, and the powerful were threatened and they put them to death. Look at Mary Ward, not literally put to death, but because she stood for what is right, she had to suffer many trials. Mary Ward derived strength from a crucified Lord. During his passion, we see him in prayer. He was tense, anxious, worried, like any one of us might be. He knew what was going to happen, for he had stood up for the truth. To get rid of anxiety, tension, Jesus did not take a painkiller or go for a massage or anything like that. He went straight to his Father to pray. Mary Ward's disposition was similar to that of Jesus, and her attitude was one of surrender to God in everything. There are ample examples from her life that she turned to prayer to consult God before taking any important decision. Discernment was a Mary's way, and her attitude was one of total surrender to God. When Sister Praxedes insulted her in the community, and when the general public ridiculed her, calling her names, runaway nun, galloping girls, etc., do you think she was without any feelings? Of course, she felt it very keenly too, but united her insults, humiliations with that of Jesus and remained calm. No suppression shattered her institute. She was humiliated but unbroken. In 1625 in Rome, Mary prayed to our Blessed Lord in the sacraments to teach her how to suffer profitably. It was then revealed to her, says the inscription, that she would cause God the greatest pleasure if she bore her trials joyfully. It is probably correct to say that she was to accept painful events as a sharing in the passion of Christ. Let us look at her own imprisonment. It was an insult and humiliation, shocking to the core of her heart. Dean Gola wanted to take her to the prison under the cover of darkness in the night in order to avoid publicity. Her answer was, "It would be wrong to my innocence to seek darkness. I have ever loved the light, and I do all my actions in the light. Suffering without sin is no burden." She stepped out calmly to the Anchor Convent, the place of her imprisonment, in the daytime with one of her companions. A marvelous example of equanimity in suffering indeed. The untimely deaths of Barbara and Susanna in 2 consecutive years were unbearable for her. She said, "Our way to heaven must be to accept all from His hands and work for Him alone. We need courage, clarity, commitment to do so." While we reflect on our heroic virtues, let us ask her to help us to be strong in the face of suffering. We must walk in the footsteps of our Venerable Mother Mary Ward under the banner of the cross. Thank you.